This episode of Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Vonglis Enterprises, LLC. Vonglis is a fully insured company that offers free estimates for every job. At Vonglis, they specialize in septic system installation and repairs, along with waterline installation. Check them out on Facebook or call them at 585-471-4240. Here with the Livonia boys soccer team, really on a roll this season, Coach, and it's nothing different here in Livonia. You really have a proud program that year in and year out competes for sectional titles. You're coming off of a sectional championship win, so trying to defend that sectional title. What's been working for you guys this year?
Well, you're very kind, first of all. We do have quite a few returning players from last year. The bulk of our team is back from last year's successful team. So we are hoping to defend our title, but there's some tough games ahead of us, that's for sure, and there's some good teams in Class B. There's only one B this year, so there's 15 teams, and we've got Hornell in there, and Minders will be the number one seed. But I think just having so many great players returning has been key for us. We figured we'd be pretty solid, and we've actually exceeded expectations, I think.
Now, Connor, you and Colin have really been working off each other very well this season. Colin, near the top in Section 5 in scoring. You're not far behind, also contributing a number of assists. What's been working so well for you two, and what's allowed you to play off each other so well and lead your team to the successful record that you've posted thus far?
I mean, it's his presence alone. It just him making runs off the ball. It'll draw 3 or 4 defenders with him. That'll give me and Keegan a lot of space in the middle.
Now, defensively, we talked about it off camera. You're outscoring opponents, I believe, 83-8 on the season. And your goaltender has only had to make 5 saves. So what's been working for your defensive unit this year that's really allowed your goaltender to have quite an easy time back there?
I mean, our back four is really solid. I mean, we got Nick Stetter, Nick Coyle, and Ray Maxwell. They all hold it down. And if anything gets through, I'll clean up as a deep sweeper. And I mean, like you said, we've only let in a couple of shots, so it's been working pretty well.
You haven't really had many close games this year, though. So to have another one right before sectional time and to be tested, how important is that for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to have another tough game. I think the easy games aren't really preparing us for sectionals well enough, so it'll be good to have some better competition.
Now, another one of those tough games against the Aquinas in Class A. They really bring a lot of talent to the field, and you hung with them. 2-1 loss, I believe, in overtime. So quite the performance in that game. What can you take away from that game, confidence-wise, schematically, that maybe will serve you well down the road, knowing that you can compete with anybody, including the teams in Class A?
Well, we came into it knowing they were a great team, and we left knowing that they were a great team. Double overtime loss. But we came out of that a better team, I'd say. Even with the loss, we know that we can hang with the top teams, even if they're bigger than us, even if they're private. We know what a team we are. We know we can move forward and make a really deep playoff run, and that's what we're planning to do.
Now, talk about that playoff scenario. It's always an exciting time here in Livonia when the rain starts falling, the temperature starts dropping. It's a little chilly out here while we're doing this interview, but this is the time where you boys thrive and have done so under Coach Maxwell for so many years. How much pride do you guys take in maintaining that level of play here within the Livonia boys soccer program and making sure that there's no dip in performance year in and year out, even coming off a championship season?
We definitely take a great deal of pride with that. You know, we work with the younger players before they get up to varsity. You know, this is what we dream of, so we know that the time has come and this is the time we need to perform, so we just want to continue the play we've been having in the regular season and take that into the postseason.
Now, can you speak on Coach Maxwell's impact? Hall of Famer, just recently inducted, and to come over and really generate so much success, or help generate so much success in this program and help you guys develop. What kind of an impact does he have on a day in, day out basis and year in, year out for this program?
I mean, yeah, he's been an incredible coach. I mean, he's the most successful coach Livonia's ever had, probably. I mean, he came from Geneseo and just immediately we started winning titles. I mean, we always have good records. He's just a great coach to have. He always brings some funny jokes and just a great personality to have.
At the same token, in soccer, you really have to have coaches on the field. There's so much happening, and there's so much distance between each other and the sideline as well. How have you seen your guys' leadership grow this year? You lost some key pieces last year. You've had to replace them. How have you seen that leadership grow, and how do you feel that growth has impacted your success?
I mean, Connor to my right and Keegan to my left, and James over here to the far side. They've really stepped up as captains this year, and really just they bring a team together. They get us hype before the game, and I mean, it's great to see. So
now, stepping in and filling that leadership void, while also having to crank out the production that you do game in and game out, how much is that on your shoulders, and how have you been able to weigh those expectations for yourself, both, like I said, leadership-wise and production-wise?
It's not a lot. There's no expectations. I mean, my teammates, I don't know. I mean, if anything, I'm on their back. I produce off of them. They produce off of me.
Now, Coach, to have two guys leading you statistically the way that you do, but to have so much depth on the roster, how critical is that for a varsity boys soccer team to have so many guys that can contribute and that you can rely on as a coach to put in maybe different positions and come through in critical times?
That's been a big plus this year. We've got several kids that can score goals, which is nice. If somebody gets shut down, somebody else will come through. If you look at our roster and the goals and assists, they're pretty spread out. We've got a couple of big goal scorers, but then we've got several kids that have pitched in. And we have about 50. We have a good sized squad. We probably about 15 I call first team players that we can kind of rotate in and out as starters. So as far as depth, I think maybe more than we've had in the past, and just maybe a more solid 11 than I can remember having in a long time.
And just to get a little selfish now, Coach, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, where does that rank within your many accomplishments throughout many years? I know you've had the team accomplishments, and I'm sure those come first, but to be inducted into the Hall of Fame here in Livonia, what does that mean to you?
It was nice. It was a very nice ceremony last week, and it meant a lot to me because there's a lot of great people in there and people that I have looked up to over the years. And not being a Livonia grad myself, it was nice to be inducted as a coach. Somebody who's kind of come in from the outside. So it meant a great deal to me, yes.
Now, what would it mean to you to win another sectional title with this group?
It would be wonderful. I just don't want to. I'm afraid I don't want to set us up for disappointment. Obviously, it's a tough Class B. Minders to the number 1 seed. There's a good chance that no matter what tomorrow night, we'll see Hornell again, not too far from now, and that would likely be a semi-final matchup with maybe the winner playing Minders for all the marbles. So it's just we're very good about just taking them one game at a time, and that's what we're going to do in the coming section.
Oh, and he got it to go in. Score!
This episode of Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Vonglis Enterprises, LLC. Vonglis is a fully insured company that offers free estimates for every job. At Vonglis, they specialize in septic system installation and repairs, along with waterline installation. Check them out on Facebook or call them at 585-471-4240.